Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is a kind of a home vlog, I guess you could say. Just a few days. I was preparing for house guests to come, which is also the reason I've been trying to get a bunch of house projects done before my company comes, even though they would not have cared, but I would have cared if the house was a disaster. So John's parents were actually coming to visit for 5 days, I think. They've since gone home now, but we're starting this vlog. John and I were going to pull orders to ship, and he had said they had opened this park close to our house right by the beach, and it's just so beautiful. He wanted to take me down there to see it, so we just went for a little walk while we were having a look at it, and I decided to film it because I thought it was really pretty. It's really nice. They have like a little section with picnic tables, and they actually have like a porta potty down there, so you have like a little bathroom. And obviously like the beach was there before, but they built like a kind of a ramp type thing to get down there, and they actually made it wheelchair accessible, which I thought was really cool that they did that. But it's actually not a bad beach. I grew up around some really amazing beaches, so I tend to be a little bit of a beach snob, I guess, but for I guess the area we live in, it is really nice. So we probably won't get much use like this year because it's already September, but it'll be cool that this is open next summer. We actually did take John's parents down when they came though to have a look at it, and there was actually a lot of people down. So now we are at our storage unit. I'm not sure, I don't think I've showed this before, but it's like inside an old church that has just been like built into different units. It's really nice because we had a storage unit before that was like outside, so you're like out in the elements. This way it's nice because you can go inside. And I don't know, John's done like tours of the storage unit over on his channel, but we have a smaller one, which is where my things are for Etsy. So I had actually made a few sales, so I needed to get some, but I think I'm gonna keep all of my holiday decor in this storage unit. It's pretty small. And then we got a really quite large one, which this was going to be my first time actually seeing inside the large one. So here we are inside the big one. John had showed me photos of it before, which I thought it looked great, but actually being inside the unit itself was like, I can't get over how big it is. But John actually did a very detailed tour of this over on his channel if you're interested, because he just talks about all the reselling things on his channel. But yeah, it's quite large. We have like a lot of room for like more shelving and stuff, so I don't know, it's pretty exciting, but it's also like quite full as well, which is also exciting. I'm gonna try to remember to start leaving the link to John's channel in my description box along with his eBay store, because I always get asked about it and I just always forget to link it down there. But John's super excited. He's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I think he just hit 400 at the time of filming. But the things that I sold were those sheets I showed a little while ago, the Disney sheets from the 80s, and then I also sold this Garfield mug, which I think I paid 50 cents for it like years ago, so it's almost like free. But the sheets did not take long to sell at all. So I thought I would show you the grocery haul I was getting, because a lot of people have said they would like to see things like that. So I was getting a lot of different things because we were getting company. So got some of this vanilla ice cream, got some like easy things too, like onion rings and fries for like convenience. And then I got some of these like mixed frozen vegetables, because those are the kind of vegetables that John's parents eat, I think. We got some Zevia as well. I really love Zevia. That's like what I drink when I'm drinking like soda. John likes this cola version, but basically it's just sweetened without sugar and sweetened with stevia. But I also got some Diet Pepsi and some Diet Coke, these little mini cans, because John's dad can't have sugar, so, or like he avoids it. So I was trying to get things that he might like. And I didn't know if he liked Coke or Pepsi, so I just got both. And then I got some sugar-free cookies. The oatmeal ones were a really big hit, but he didn't actually eat any of the wafer ones, but he did take them with him. But I also got some trail mix because I thought that would be a good snack. I also got this sugar-free syrup, which then he told me that he didn't like the zero sugar syrup. He gets like a 75% less sugar, which is what I think I got last time he was here. And then these are just things I got for my pantry. Some like plant-based sweetened condensed milk, and then just some plant-based condensed milk for like baking. Baking season's coming and I want it to be prepared. So then I also got some cereal, like a bunch of cereal, which we don't normally buy cereal, but I wanted to make some Chex Mix because I thought that would be a good snack that was, you know, like no sugar. And I don't know, I always want to have like a million snacks when I have company because I want people to like not feel hungry, and I just want people to have a good time while they're here. And then so I got cereal for that, and then I was ordering my groceries online and it showed me Fruity Pebbles, and I've never had Fruity Pebbles before. So I thought maybe it was new, but John said he had them before, but I was like, I want to try them. So then I got some tempeh for my salads. Got some tofu, but we usually buy like tofu every grocery order. We eat a lot of tofu. And then I got some Beyond Beef. It's kind of like a ground beef alternative. It works very similar to ground beef. And then I got some of these breakfast sausages, also by Beyond, because I know John's dad likes these. So like obviously we're a vegan household, so I don't want to like force my lifestyle on anyone, but we usually just make vegan food, but I try to make vegan versions of like food that people like so that it's not awkward, I guess. I don't know, but they're really supportive and stuff, so if they don't like something, they'll usually just tell us and then we don't make it again. But I also got him some vegan candies because I always have candies out in my house for company, but he always asks and they always have sugar in them. So I made a mental note that the next time he visited, I would get some candies. So I just typed like sugar-free chocolates or sugar-free candy into my grocery app, and I just found these ones, and then I made like a mental note while he was here of the ones that he really liked and the ones that he didn't care for that much. That way next time I can just get the ones that he really liked. And then John has a big sweet tooth too. He obviously got that from his dad. These sugar-free candies all had dairy in them, I think, so like we couldn't eat them, meaning John would have been looking at these bowls of candy, and so I got some candy for John as well because he would have been wanting to eat the ones with dairy in them, but actually not wanting to do it. I also got some Zero Gatorade because I remember the last time they came that they had that with them, so I got some of that. I just got some of our coffee cream, got some of my blue cheese for my salads. I also got some Fig Newton cookies for John because I knew he would want cookies too if he was seeing those sugar-free cookies. I got some sugar-free ketchup as well, and it turns out I actually really like that. Also got some vegan butter chicken sauce. This is really good for making like a quick and easy meal. And then I also found this sugar-free barbecue sauce because I usually make meatloaf when his parents come because his dad really likes that. And then I just got some of these, like they're basically a vegan cheesy. And then I just got a lot of produce that I normally get like for my salads, but then I also made sure to get some bananas, and we've got some, I think I ordered nectarines, but they gave me clementines, but that's fine. I mean, it's all citrus, I guess. I wanted to have a good variety of fruit. And then I also got some Brussels sprouts. Usually I get frozen ones, but the fresh ones are even better. And the last time that John's parents were here, I made Brussels sprouts. But I also made the other vegetables I showed because I didn't know if they liked them, but they both tried the Brussels sprouts and liked them. I also got some apples, and I got some potatoes because I was going to make mashed potatoes. So then it was the next morning. I was trying my Fruity Pebbles. They taste a lot like Fruit Loops to me, but the texture is more like Special K. At least that's how I see it. I didn't realize that the cereal was in Canada. I don't know. There's like a lot of cereal that I see like from like the US that isn't in Canada. But yeah, it was okay. I don't really eat cereal very often, but it was pretty good. So after I got done my cereal, I started to do all the stuff that I wanted to do that day. This was the day before they were coming, but I wanted to get a lot of stuff done the day before so that I didn't feel like rushed, or I wasn't like in the kitchen cooking like when they first got here. So I put some of this trail mix in containers, put that in the living room, and then I filled up all of these like fall dishes that I have with candies and put that in the living room. Tried to just get like a bunch of stuff done on this day before they arrived. So I figured John's parents would both sit in these chairs here on this side, and that way John and I could sit on the couch, mainly just for Marley, because she's very like skittish around people other than me and John, but even sometimes around me and John. So if we were both on the couch, I figured she'd feel comfortable enough to get up on the couch and lay down, and she did, thankfully. I think the first time they came to visit, she just stayed upstairs almost the whole time, so it's always nice when she will come back, like come in the living room and hang out with us. So I'm also drinking an energy drink because I knew I had a long day ahead of me. But I'm just getting those set out and putting the ones for John here on this side of the couch where he's gonna sit. And then I figured I would just put the rest of the candy in these other dishes that I got. So I filled those up and put them back. So then I wanted to get the drinks in the fridge before I forgot, and that way they'd be cold for the next day. So I put them in, but John's dad ended up bringing some Pepsi Zero because that's what he likes to drink. So now I know that for next time, so that's good. And then I got all the fruit out of the packaging and put it in the fridge. I usually wash it and then put it in my fridge bin, so I just wanted to get that done. I usually do that anyway, and I had got grapes, so I wanted to wash all the grapes and pull them off the stem, wash all the apples. I was going to make apple crisp, so put some of the apples and the tangerines or mandarins, I can't remember. Yeah, so anyway, I got that done. Then I was going to work on making the Chex Mix, so that calls for the Worcestershire sauce, but I just make that from scratch because the stuff you buy in the store has an animal ingredient in it, so I make it from scratch. But to be honest, I would think I would make it from scratch anyway because it's so easy. I didn't know that you could it was that easy to make from scratch until someone told me. So, because I was almost out, I decided to make some of that. I always make a double batch and think it's going to fill it, but that it doesn't actually fill it. So I need to start making a quadruple batch. But anyway, got that done. I also put that in my meatloaf too, which I was going to make. So I got all the Chex Mix mixed up. This was actually a really big hit. It kind of surprised me how big of a hit it was. I think it was all eaten within 2 days. So I'll definitely make a double batch of that the next time they visit. But I usually make this all the time at Christmas, but it's usually the only time of the year I make it. I think it's really good too. And I had never been able to find the corn Chex until recently, which I think on the box it even says new. Which is weird because I remember corn Chex when I was a kid, but I don't know. Anyway, now I wanted to get started on the meatloaf, so I just found this recipe online. It uses Impossible beef, but I just used Beyond instead. And I was just using my vintage Pyrex loaf pan for this, but I got everything all mixed up. I actually make it semi-bland, I guess. John and I like a ton of garlic and onion, but I know John's dad doesn't really care for onions, so I just kind of added a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, some pepper, kept it pretty neutral. But I got that all done up, and then I put the barbecue sauce on top, and I just covered it because I was gonna bake it the next day when they came for dinner. So I wanted to get my salad prep done as well, so I had a bunch of chopping and stuff to do for that. But I'm using this tempeh instead of tofu because the salads were just for me. But while I was making the salads, I got some potatoes boiling because I was going to make the mashed potatoes and just put it in a casserole dish so that I could just pop everything in the oven that day when they came, so I wasn't like in the kitchen for a bunch of time. And then we were gonna have the Brussels sprouts with the meatloaf and mashed potatoes. So I like to cut them in half and roast them in the oven, which is better that way. So then I wanted to get all of the salads done. This is like the same salad I've been showing in lots of videos, but I do romaine and the kale slaw, and John does mixed greens and the kale slaw, and so like one bag will make 8 salads. And then I like to add some matchstick carrots, but a bag will actually do like 16 salads, so I only have to buy it every other time. Same with the red onion, I'll do like half the red onion for 6 or for 8 salads. So John has corn in his salad and I have tomato, and then I've got tofu bacon here is what John prefers. He doesn't really like the tempeh, but I kind of like the tempeh. But then it also calls for chickpeas as well. It's like a vegan Cobb salad kind of. And then I get this blue cheese, which I was thinking like probably wouldn't be Mediterranean, but it's actually just made with nuts. So I think it would actually be okay for the Mediterranean diet, which is like what I'm trying to follow for the most part, like probably for the last 3 weeks or so. But this blue cheese is so good. I think if you didn't like blue cheese, you could use like a different type of cheese. And then obviously I think like chickpeas are kind of like a chicken maybe, and then bacon, you could obviously just do regular bacon. So I got my Brussels sprouts all like cut up and ready to just throw in the oven. Same with the mashed potatoes. Got all the dishes done. This is another reason why I wanted to do it the day before, so that it was like everything was nice and clean and I wasn't in the kitchen all day. So now it is the morning that they're getting here. So first thing in the morning, I decided to make a batch of tea biscuits because I know that they like tea biscuits, and I know John likes tea biscuits. So I got that on the go, and I wanted to get the apple crisp made like and all put together so that I could put that in the oven for dessert afterwards. I had just got a new apple core and slicer. The last one I had broke and I had never replaced it, but I was like, I don't want to cut that many apples up by hand without, it just makes it so much faster. So I got that made, and I made it with half of the amount of sugar that it called for, but I used coconut sugar and date sugar, and it actually turned out really good because like I said, John's dad can't have the sugar, so we just had some with a scoop of the ice cream, which does have sugar in it, but then with the little odd biscuit, you know, like with the leftover dough, you just mold it together. I made John this like sausage biscuit, and then I was upstairs in our bedroom. I wanted to change the sheets and get that done. I also fixed these shelves. I had to get John's help, but they were leaning. They're floating shelves that were not floating so well, and it was bugging me. So I wanted to get that done before they came. And then I was taking out, I always do like my skincare routine, like in bed. Like I wash my face obviously in the bathroom, but then I just go upstairs. It's like the last thing that I do before bed, and brush my teeth. And then I just go upstairs and then put on like serum and all that from there. So I was taking all that downstairs because we were giving John's parents our bedroom because it's like a more comfortable bed. And we were sleeping in the basement on our pull-out couch. That's like not the most comfortable. We're definitely going to get a new mattress for that, I think. So I just packed all that up in like a travel bag. Took my book downstairs too in case I wanted to read. And then I just kind of dusted and sprayed all the surfaces down with my apple cider vinegar. Bed was all made and everything, and I did a quick little vacuum in there as well, and that was fine. I put all the dishes away from the day before, got the whole kitchen like tidied up, and then I just wanted to like mop the floors last. So the spray part of my mop broke. It actually broke years ago, and I didn't want to just buy a whole new thing because really the rest of it is fine. So I just put the cleaner in a spray bottle with water and I just spray it manually and then I use reusable mop pads for that. So this was our basement setup. While I was upstairs making the bed up and getting the bedroom ready, he actually pulled the bed out, and then I came down and we made the bed together. So this is my side of the bed or couch. I got this little stool out and put a fan because I'm used to sleeping with like an overhead fan and then sometimes the air conditioner. So, and then I just this is like an old phone of mine that I use to, if I'm having a hard time sleeping, which is basically every night, I watch ASMR videos. So that one you can like just prop up because it has these little bunny ears that kind of act like a kickstand. And then I just got all of my other stuff over here, brought some extra water down so that I didn't have to go back upstairs to get more. It actually wasn't as uncomfortable as I remembered it being. It's just, I think mainly because we have like a pillow top mattress that is fairly new, and this is like an old coil spring mattress, and it's just very different sleeping experience, I guess. So, but we ended up staying up way later than normal. John's parents stay up kind of late compared to us. So Marley was so confused, I think because we were up late, but then also that we were down here. But thankfully she did come down with us so that she wasn't like feeling alone or something. She normally doesn't sleep on the bed with us, but she does come up on the bed with us when we're getting in bed and stays there for a little while. We always joke that she's like putting us to sleep and then she goes off and sleeps on her own. But I think she just slept on the couch. She normally sleeps upstairs in the second room, but I don't think she felt comfortable sleeping up there by herself or like with strangers. And I did do a whole basement tour down here, I think last year, if you're new here and you're curious about our basement, but it's just a little bit of it. John's a big video gamer. I say that, but he actually barely ever plays video games anymore, but we have like all of the old school video games and a lot of, or the video game consoles and a lot of old video games. So anyway, that is my little week vlog. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. A lot of people have said that they would like to see like grocery hauls and food prep stuff. So I thought this would be a good week to show that since I was doing a bunch of it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again really soon.